One of my favorite pastimes each and every year for the past few seasons is to see how the Saints are going to somehow get themselves out of salary cap purgatory. And time again, they consistently do it. But the problem this year is I feel like this is really the year where the shit is going to hit the fan for the New Orleans Saints because $83 million dollars in the negative of effective cap space, aging stars all over the roster, not so much draft capital we have. I believe it's three picks inside the top 145. It's just an absolute mess. We're really going to focus on building up the trenches in this mock draft. Don't know how much trading down I'm going to do, to be quite honest with you, unless something really, really catches my eye. But I'm going to be trying to take the best player available at each position of need for the most part. Like I said, we're going to try and really, really stack the trenches. The offensive line for me, I know a lot of Saints fans want to trade up for Jaden Daniels. I just don't see it happening between the salary cap mess, between the lack of draft selections this year. I just can't see it happening. And I really don't think that it's worth moving up, to be quite honest with you. And we got to build these trenches. The offensive line is key. The defensive line is key as well. We need edge rushers. So there's just a lot going on. So we're going to see what we can do here. All right, so something that's not really going to affect this mock draft too much, or is it? But if you see here, the Indianapolis Colts came calling. They offered us a second-round pick next year to move up one spot. So seems pretty unrealistic for the most part, but I'm going to take it anyway. So we have an extra second-round pick for next year. So that's cool. But the part that I'm happy about is it didn't affect who I was going to draft here at number 14 or now number 15. So we did move back one spot to acquire a second-round pick for next year. And the top guy on the board right now is J.C. Latham. That's someone who is probably going to be the no-brainer pick for me here. We've seen time and time again that Mickey Loomis and the Saints are not afraid to aggressively add talent on the offensive line. Trevor Penning just has not developed at all. The 2022 first-round pick I don't even think he was the third tackle on the roster last season. He's really, really struggled. Maybe perhaps a move to the inside to kind of maximize his value at this point. Ryan Ramczyk is also excellent, but someone who's been held back by a knee injury last season. So, could this be the start of deterioration? Who knows? But regardless, I think adding just a massive body like J.C. Latham on the right side of the offensive line is just going to be fantastic for the New Orleans Saints. So I think this is going to be the pick for me. I really like Jared Verse as well, but, I think maybe the second round is someplace where we could add an edge rusher or a defensive tackle, someone like that. But we have to prioritize the offensive line here in the first round. I'm going to take J.C. Latham. All right, so an exciting move here that I was looking for. We were able to move down 5 spots with the Philadelphia Eagles here from number 45 to number 15. We were able to pick up a third-round pick. Granted, it's a late third-round pick, but it really helps, alleviate the tension of from 45 to 148. So we moved back 5 spots. We acquired another top 100 pick. So I'm really liking the way that this works right now here. And I'm looking at a player that maybe a lot of you Saints fans might not think that this is necessarily an immediate need right away. I haven't gauged what Saints fans actually think about the draft upcoming here. But if Edgerrin Cooper is on the board here at number 50, I have to take him. This is a long-term replacement for Demario Davis, who just turned 35. He's also playing still at an all-pro level, but that's going to stop sometime soon. Zach Bond, I believe, is also a free agent, and Pete Warner is okay in his own right. I think they have some decent depth. Monty Rice, DeMarco Jackson, who I actually interviewed on this channel way back in the day. All really nice depth pieces, but I think someone like Edgerrin Cooper, who's an insane athlete, he is definitely the best linebacker in the entire class, and we're getting him at number 50. I think I have to pull the trigger here. The thing for me with the Saints is you have to kind of have the next man up mentality where Edgerrin Cooper is someone that could probably start on either side of Demario Davis next season and just slot in for him at middle linebacker when he retires, or maybe he moves on in free agency, whatever it may be. He's a freak of nature. I believe Daniel Jeremiah had him as like a top 20 prospect in the entire draft class. It's about time he gets some love. He's a fantastic player, and that's who we're going to draft here at number 50. Oh man, this is shaping up to be an absolute peach of a draft so far. This is why you acquire another top 100 pick. Braden Fisk is sitting here at number 97. This is someone that we absolutely have to take. He was fantastic at the Senior Bowl this past week. He's also someone that has back-to-back 6-sack seasons from the defensive tackle spot. 6'5", I want to say, 295 pounds. He is a bull rush master. This is someone that's going to be really, really effective on the inside. I would love to see this man next to Bryan Bresee. If we can get Bryan Bresee to reach that potential that we saw in his freshman year at Clemson, I mean, this would be a real tandem to wreak havoc here in the NFL. So Braden Fisk is definitely going to be the pick here for me. I'm super happy with the way that this has been turning out so far. At number 148 here, I'm going down on the big board itself for someone that I think is going to be well worth it. Another Senior Bowl standout this past week for me, and that's going to be Austin Booker, edge rusher out of Kansas. So a little bit of a lighter frame for a traditional edge rusher, 6'4", 240 pounds, but at the same point, he possesses outstanding length, 34-inch arms. He has an explosive first step. He's really bendy and flexible off the edge. This is someone that I think could really wreak havoc in the NFL as just a pure pass rusher. And with Cam Jordan getting up there in age and being less productive as the years go on, I think it might be time to, start to look for a real successor here. I know that the Saints have kind of fallen flat on their face the last few times that they have tried to draft a pure pass rusher. Well, earlier in the rounds, you think of Peyton Turner, you think of Marcus Davenport, guys like that. But Austin Booker is someone that I am definitely willing to take the chance on here in round 5 as someone that can be an immediate impact player. At number 166 here, I'm going to add a wide receiver, and that's going to be Jaquan Jackson, wide receiver out of Tulane, someone that stays close to home here. If you look at his numbers, his pure physical statistics, you're not going to be absolutely blown away. But what I was blown away with, I'm going to keep referencing the Senior Bowl. You guys are going to, get so tired of it, but he was at the Senior Bowl this past week, 5'10", 195 pounds. He's not the biggest, most physically imposing wide receiver. What I really loved about his game was his natural separation skills, his twitchiness, and his release package off the line of scrimmage. He was fantastic this past week. It was very tough for those defensive backs to cover him one-on-one. Someone that I like all along the offensive alignment, out wide, X receiver, in the slot, whatever it may be. This is another weapon for Derek Carr and the Saints to take advantage of. And we know that they like their speedsters as well. So Jaquan Jackson is going to be the pick for me at number 166. Coming right around at 168 now, we're going to address the offensive line yet again, and I'm going to go for the interior. Drake Nugent is on the board, someone that I like with a lot of offensive line versatility here. He can play center, he can play guard. I really like the way that he can move around the offensive line. So this is someone that I'm willing to take a chance on here at number 168. Was kind of sort of in my mind as a pretty decent draft prospect, but after Michigan's run to the Natty, he kind of made more of a name for himself here. And I think that this would be a fine player to draft at 168. You're just looking for someone that could start in a pinch, and that's exactly what I think Drake Nugent could be. But he also has the potential and the frame to develop into much more than that. So, we're looking for cheaper options here for the New Orleans Saints. We got to get out of this cap purgatory, and these are the players that are going to make a big-time difference down the board. At 173, I know one of the main positions that the Saints need an upgrade on is the safety position. I know we haven't addressed it yet, but there's someone that I was waiting for this far down the board, and he is still here in round 5, and that's Kenny Logan. If you guys know my channel, it's well documented my infatuation with Kenny Logan as a tremendous player down the board, as a true NFL draft diamond this year. He's got great size for the position, fantastic hit power. He really is a playmaker, ball skills out there as well. I think this is someone that could slot in as a third safety, possibly a rotational safety, and then develop as the starter over time. But this is what we have to do. I know you guys aren't going to like me addressing safety this late, but I mean, with the players that we've gotten so far, I'm super happy with the way that this has turned out. And Kenny Logan is just another player that I'm super happy about getting this late in the draft. And you know what? We're going to double down on this right here. If you know anything about Sione Vaki out of Utah, he is a safety running back, gadget type of player. And if there's one thing that we know about the New Orleans Saints, it's they love their gadget players. This is someone that I could see the Saints coaching staff having a lot of fun with. He actually put the clamps on a lot of tight ends at the Senior Bowl this past week. So I wouldn't be surprised if his stock rose a little bit. As a running back, he's really cool too. It's someone that I think you could just play on both sides of the football, and you'd have to make the defense think about, because if he's in the game, you're going to say, well, he's in the game. They're going to use him in some way, shape, or form. So we know that the Saints love those type of players. Safety back-to-back, yes, but you look more into it. This is more of a gadget type of player at 191 that could have some real upside for the New Orleans Saints. At number 200, I'm going to address the offensive line yet again. I'm looking at Ethan Driscoll, tackle out of Marshall, someone that, no exposure is bad exposure in the NFL draft cycle, in my opinion. Did he perform well at the Senior Bowl? Not really. But he has potential. He has everything that you're looking for. He just has to put it all together. And this is someone that I'm willing to take a swing at number 200. I know that these picks are valuable because we have no money, but this is someone that I'm definitely willing to take as a swing tackle potential, as someone that I could possibly develop long term. Beggars can't be choosers here. We're looking for offensive line depth for the New Orleans Saints here, and Ethan Driscoll is a familiar name that really can play when it comes down to it. Another player that I absolutely love from this past week, this is just going to be the Senior Bowl draft, I guess, but someone that really, really impressed me way down the board here that I'm willing to take a shot at 229 with the last pick in this New Orleans Saints mock draft is going to be Andrew Phillips, someone that I was super invested in watching his tape this past week. Most notably, he put the clamps on Johnny Wilson, someone that has a much bigger frame than he does. He's physical. He is tenacious. He plays with confidence. This is someone that I'm looking at down the board here, and I'm absolutely running that card up to the podium to make the pick. This is someone that can make a real impact, whether it be on special teams, whether it be actually playing meaningful snaps. If I can get some kind of value like this way down the board, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So this will be our last pick. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Let's just do a quick recap here. We traded one spot down from 14 to 15. We acquired a 2025 second round pick at number 50. Oh, I'm sorry, I completely forgot JC Latham. At number 15, we took JC Latham, tackle out of Alabama. At number 50, we took Edgerrin Cooper, the best linebacker in the entire draft class. At number 97, we took defensive tackle Braden Fisk. At 148, we took Austin Booker. 166, we took Jaquan Jackson. 168, Drake Nugent. 173, Kenny Logan Jr. 191, Sione Vaki. 200, we took Ethan Driscoll. And with our last pick at 229, we took Andrew Phillips. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I know what you're thinking. This is probably not the sexiest draft overall, but I think this is a necessary one to keep the Saints in playoff contention while having salary cap hell. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.